Alright. Hello again, Avengers, and welcome to another exciting daily vlog. This is Daily Vlog 2025, number 23. So, today, I just completely smashed my wrist on my little table that I keep my keyboard on. Fun day already. So, I want to talk about something that I've been seeing recently that is upsetting me. Let's put it that way. So, there was recently a video by a creator that shall remain nameless because, again, this isn't about calling out a particular creator, but more of calling out a habit that I've seen multiple people do. They're in the D&D YouTuber space. They did a video about a game that won an Emmy Award, I think in 2017, that 100% should not have won an Emmy Award. If anyone is unfamiliar with what the Emmy Awards are, the Emmy Awards were, as far as I can tell research-wise, were one of the first, if not the first, awards for tabletop gaming. And they were created in a sponsorship by EN World, which I don't know if that's even a website anymore, but there used to be a website called EN World that had tabletop news on it. And so they created this award called the Emmy Awards, and it would it's basically like the Oscars for tabletop RPGs. And it's been going, I think it started in like 2001, and it's been going ever since. The award ceremony is held at Gen Con, which for anyone who doesn't know, Gen Con is the largest tabletop gaming convention in in North America. I believe it's second largest in the world. There's one larger tabletop gaming convention, I think, in Germany. The Emmy Awards are for tabletop games, specifically like RPGs and stuff like that. The Emmy Awards are a big thing for a number of different reasons. But one of them is there really aren't a lot of places that you can get recognition in the tabletop RPG market. Since like 2021, I have seen a few more award style show things popping up. Like there is a thing called the Tabletop Awards, and I found another one. Those are all relatively recent. They've only been around for a couple of years. The Emmys, like I said, have been around for over 20. And so in 2017, there was this basically erotic fan fiction that was turned into a tabletop RPG adventure that was submitted for an Emmy. And the way that the Emmys work is you submit your product to their judges council thing. Which is not a set group of people. I don't know how they choose their judges, but they're not the same people every year. And so you submit it for them, and they will weed through all these different submissions and release a list of games that they have nominated for an award. And then it's voted on by the public. And so this erotic extremely problematic, like used a lot of racial stereotypes and stuff in there. There was a lot of sexual, like just crap tons of sexual content. Like literally it was like a slash fic that they added some dice rolls to. And it was just the Emmys in and of themselves are meant to be kind of family friendly, not, exclusively, we only do things that are for families. But it's not supposed to be, representing this. And so that particular year, that thing won. I want to say it was the Gold Ennie, because they have gold, silver, and bronze in a bunch of the categories. And won Gold Ennie for best tabletop adventure. And it's not a good adventure in any way, shape, or form. Not just like the writing is really, really bad and offensive, but the actual adventure itself is just poorly written. So it never should have made it past the judges. That's the entire purpose of the judges, is to just have someone there to go, hey, listen, this is not what we want the Ennies attached to. Turned into this huge controversy. Lancer, the people that wrote Lancer, which is the TTRPG system that I used for my December campaign this past December, actually took themselves out of the running for an Ennie Award in protest of the fact that the Ennie Awards had awarded this particular incredibly offensive adventure. And the person that wrote the adventure has, I believe, has removed it from sale and everything, and has distanced himself from it, said, hey, yeah, it was really bad. I never should have written it. I never should have written it. It's really offensive. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't support it anymore. Yeah, so the Lancer team, which I believe is just 2 people, actually like took themselves out of the running and said, no, we're not going to accept an award from this group. The Ennie Award Council basically kind of did a Pontius Pilate where they washed their hands and said, well, it's a public voted thing, so we have no control over who the public votes for. Which is a bold-faced lie, but, that's the way they wanted to do it. So anyway, this D&D YouTuber is reporting about this, and they get to talking about the Ennies. To preface this, the entire video that they made was not about the Ennie Awards. It was about this really reprehensible adventure module that won awards, that shouldn't have won awards. No one in their right mind should have allowed it to. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. So, orange juice. The video wasn't about the Ennie Awards, but they needed to explain what the Ennie Awards. And so the way that they describe the Ennie Awards is like, oh, the Ennie Awards are this little indie thing that nobody really knows about, nobody really cares about. And every time they would reference the Ennie Awards, they would just go, yeah, if you're going to have your tiny little award show and you're going to allow people to vote, it's really easy to game the system because it's such a tiny little award show. And it's not. It's a major event at the largest tabletop gaming convention in North America, the second largest tabletop gaming convention in the world. This is not a tiny little niche thing. I think it was George R.R. Martin mentioned back in like 2010. The Ennie Awards are one of the highest honors, if not the highest honor, you can get as a TTRPG creator. Because again, no one else is recognizing excellence in this particular field. So it really upset me because this particular... First of all, I was really surprised that this particular D&D YouTuber had no idea what the Ennies are, because once you get involved in anything outside of D&D, and when I say D&D YouTuber, I guess they do kind of focus on D&D, but they play other systems as well. But if you get into tabletop RPGs in general and get outside of D&D in any way, shape, or form, you will find out about the Ennies. The only people that really don't care about the Ennies is Wizards of the Coast, because they're the top dog. They don't care what the Ennies does. I don't know if... I think early on, D&D won some Ennies. Like I think 3rd edition won one of the first Ennies for best game system of the year, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But more modern stuff generally doesn't go to D&D. I don't think Wizards of the Coast even submits their stuff for consideration because they don't need to. but literally everybody else does. Fabula Ultima was a gold Ennie winner. Lancer probably could have won some Ennies if they hadn't taken their name out of the runnings. Amy Dallin, formerly of Geek and Sundry Vlogs, and then worked for D&D Beyond for a little bit, and now I believe she's just doing her own stuff. For years, she would live tweet and cover the Ennies every single year because it's a big deal in the tabletop RPG community. But because this one creator had not heard of it, they belittled it and did everything they could to try and marginalize it to the point where it's like, well, it really doesn't matter because it's this tiny little independent group of people that nobody cares about. No, it was started by Eon World, which was one of the biggest, at that time, it was one of the biggest websites on the web for gaming-related news. Like, I remember going to Eon World often. And again, it happens at Gen Con, which is a massive, massive deal. It's not this tiny little indie thing. But that's what this person decided to do because they personally weren't aware of it. They hadn't heard of it. And so they just assumed, well, it's this tiny little thing. I was watching another video where this person was, this is another one of those, can't remember what they're called. Basically mini documentaries that you find on YouTube where someone will do a deep dive into something. This particular video was about a Twitch streamer or something akin to that. That had some controversy, and that was what the whole deep dive was. And while they're doing this, they start talking about Twitch, and they go, I don't know why anyone would ever derive enjoyment from watching someone stream themselves playing video games, but apparently some people enjoy that. And it was another one of those things where this particular person just didn't enjoy that pastime. And so they felt the need for no reason, like it had no effect on the story, to describe Twitch streamers as these people that I don't know why anyone would ever watch them. Guess what? Twitch makes more money than almost any other website aside from, I think, YouTube right now. And Twitch streamers make a shit ton more money than YouTube content creators overall. Twitch is massively profitable. It is, it's been used in the music industry. They've had live concerts in Fortnite. Who was it? One of the presidential candidates, I think, played with some big Twitch streamer on their stream as a publicity stunt, to be perfectly honest, that didn't work. Like, Twitch is a massive, massive platform that has been around for well over a decade and has been profitable that entire time. Maybe not profitable as its own, but it's made Amazon money, and it makes Twitch streamers a shit ton of money. There's no reason to sit there. I don't know why anyone would ever enjoy watching someone else have fun. Do you watch football? Well, that's different. No, it's not. You're sitting on your ass watching other people have fun. It's what it is. It has literally been a pastime for millennia. People watching other people have fun is enjoyable. Hell, that's what sports are. And so I've been seeing this more and more often, where you will have someone that is reporting on something or trying to inform their user base on something, and they will get to an aspect that they're either less than familiar with or don't like, and it doesn't have anything to do with the main story. It's just something ancillary. And they will just shit on it completely because they don't understand. And I don't understand why it needs to be done. Like, again, this other guy that was talking about that weird sex dream that turned into a TTRPG adventure. There was no reason to just sit there and shit on the Ennies. Like, none at all. Is it the most massive thing in the world? Is it like the Oscars? Do they get 20 million? Well, I guess the Oscars don't get 20 million people watching anymore. Because they... we can talk about the Oscars later. You know, is it nationally televised? No. But it's a really big deal in the TTRPG space if your name... or if your game isn't D&D or Pathfinder. And Pathfinder and Paizo in general, I believe, still regularly submit their stuff for any awards. I don't know how often they win. But yeah, basically, if your name is not John Wizards of the Coast, you care about the Ennies. I know a lot of people in the TTRPG space that are really interested in the Ennies. Is every single Gold Ennie Award winner something that you really 100% need to play? No. You know, again, you have the judges that are there to weed down the submissions to a manageable mass, but it's still a popularity contest at the end. It's not exclusively a popularity contest because, again, you have judges in there, but it's still a bit of a popularity contest. So popular games are going to get better awards than unpopular ones, with a few rare exceptions. Like I said, Fabula Ultima was an interesting thing because it's not a super big, like, they don't have a huge marketing budget or anything like that. It was just a really good game that surprised a lot of people because it's doing things that no one else was doing at the time. Yeah, I've seen this over and over again, and it's really ticking me off. I had to stop watching the video by the D&D creator, despite the fact that I love the stuff he does, just because literally every time the Ennies came up, it was, yeah, this little indie, award show that nobody knows about, nobody votes for. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Chill! Just say it's the Ennie Awards. It's an award show for tabletop RPGs. That's all you had to say. You didn't have to shit on it every single time. The same thing is true about this other dude that does deep dives and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I understand why anyone would ever derive pleasure from watching someone else have fun. Well, then you're a moron, because literally millions of people do it every single day. Technically, we could probably go into the realm of billions of people do it every single day. If you want to expand it from just Twitch to anytime you're watching someone else do something and have fun. I mean, watching fucking movies is watching somebody else do something that they're really good at and have fun. I know this. I used to be an actor. It's a lot of fun to act. It's one of the big reasons why actors are actors, because it's fun. So anyway, I felt the need to rant about this. Interested to hear from you guys. Have you guys seen anything where you've had this person and they have to explain something that either they don't understand really well or they have very little respect for, and they just spend the entire time shitting on it? Other than me when I talk about Pathfinder, because I have a justification for that. I know a shit ton about Pathfinder, and I have had extremely bad experiences with Pathfinder repeatedly. So if you guys bring up my bias against Pathfinder, it doesn't count. Besides, Pathfinder needs to be shit on. Anyway, but have you guys seen this where somebody will be talking about something and then they will just for no reason shit on something either they don't know anything about, or they have some kind of bias against it and they feel the need to just belittle it for some odd reason, and it has no effect on the rest of this as a story that they're talking about? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, again, it's all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.